Hi, welcome to Yoga at the Library. We're going to do a little bit of everything today. We're going to begin standing, and you don't need any props, but if you want a blanket, it's always good to have a blanket for underneath our knees when we go down, or maybe underneath our booties when we sit. We're going to do a couple different things. This is kind of a different structured class than we usually have. So we'll begin standing. We're gonna find a good stable base with our feet. So we wanna have the feet hip width apart or even a little bit wider than hip width apart and parallel. So the toes are pointing straight forward. The kneecaps are pointing straight forward. Stacking those hips, standing up nice and tall. Checking in with those feet. So let's go ahead and lean to one side. Lean to the other side. Lean forward and back onto the heels. Go ahead and come to the outsides of the feet, the insides of the feet. Maybe if you're feeling very advanced, the outside and the inside alternating. Just kind of get into your feet. Lift up all your toes. Lift up the heels. Feeling out every single part of the foot. And you'll bring the feet back parallel, rooting evenly from left to right. So both feet are evenly pressing into the floor. And we're even from front to back. So the base of the toes and the heel is even. So we're not leaning forward into the base of the toes, the ball of the foot. We're not leaning way back into the heel, sticking our booties out. We're even through the feet. Like there's a little rectangle that we're trying to stay balanced in. So we're standing up nice and tall. Take a couple breaths. Check in with your inhalation, feeling the belly and the rib cage expand when the lungs expand. And contract when the lungs empty, pressing all that air out. Couple breaths here. Notice how your feet are doing. Did you start to lean onto one or the other? Forward or back, or did you stay even? Take a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Alrighty, we're gonna begin to swing the arms. Swinging the arms so they kind of bounce against your body. This wakes up the spine, energizes the whole body, kind of wakes the circulation up. And if this feels weird on your knees, you can always keep the lower body still, keep the hips still, and just rotate the upper body. Or you can swing the whole body all the way down to the ankles. Paying attention to what feels good, what feels awkward to you. And we'll slow down our spins, coming back to center gradually. Check in with your feet. Notice if one or both turned out and bring them back to parallel. We're standing up nice and tall again. Let's take the right ear to the right shoulder. Nodding up and down with the chin. Feeling out the left side of the neck. Maybe playing the piano up and down that left side of the neck with the fingertips. Giving yourself a little massage. Bringing the chin down to chest and the left ear to the left shoulder. Taking nods up and down with the chin to feel out the right side of the neck. rubbing the right side of the neck, playing the piano keys up and down. Whatever you need to do to release those tendons and little bitty muscles. We can swing from ear to ear or make circles all the way around. We want to keep the feet even, keeping the kneecaps pointing straight forward, standing up nice and tall, opening up the neck and the throat in as many ways as you can think of while standing here in this position. Noticing places that are tight, noticing places that are painful or feel good. And we'll make our way back to center with the chin down towards the chest. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers, placing the hands to the back of the neck. We want to make sure that we don't round back when we do this. We want to keep standing up nice and tall. We're just stretching the back of the neck. The hands adding a little bit of gravity. We're not pulling the chin towards the chest. We're just letting the weight of the arms add a little bit of stretch. This is not the same position our necks are in when we look at our phones. This is a little bit more of a stretch. It's more intentional than that. And we'll release the arms, bring the chin back level with the floor. We'll go ahead and inhale the arms all the way up. Taking the right hand down. Left hand reaches up and over. Fingertips on that right side slide down the leg. Inhaling up. And exhaling down to the left. Coming up to center. And then exhaling down to the right one more time. Inhaling up. And exhaling down to the left. Feeling a stretch through the whole right side. We'll come all the way up and release the arms out. Go ahead and come on back to the back of your mat. So you've got your whole mat in front of you. We'll inhale, taking the arms out and all the way up. And bending the knees a lot. We're not stretching the hamstrings yet. Taking the hands down to the floor, walking the hands forward till we come all the way down. We're making our way all the way down to the belly. All the way down to the belly. We're going to do a couple of old stretches here and a couple of new stretches here. So the elbows, we want to be right underneath the shoulders. The upper arms are straight up and down. The palms are down to the floor and the tops of the feet are down to the floor. We want to drag the elbows back towards the body, dragging the belly button towards the top of the mat. Active through the upper back, getting a nice back bend there. And since we just stretched the backs of our necks, let's go ahead and lift the chin here, resting the head back. And it's not very comfortable, but we'll open up the throat here, open up the front of the neck, counterposing that compression that we just got. Bringing the chin back level with the floor, and we can stay right here in this back bend, Sphinx pose. Or we can press into the palms and lift the elbows, moving that back bend a little bit lower, intensifying the stretch. Wherever you are, continuing to breathe. Go ahead and lower the elbows if they're lifted. We're gonna take the arms out wide into a T now. This is our new stretch. It's called a pry stretch. So let's see. We're gonna stretch the right arm first. So we've got our arms straight out. We're gonna take the left palm to the mat, and then we're going to rotate the heart away from the mat so that that whole right arm is pressing into the floor. We're opening up through the front of the shoulder, the pec, the right side of the chest. And if you need to bend that knee for some extra support, that's just fine too. This is all about the right arm. So we're prying the left shoulder off the mat in order to stretch the right arm. Go ahead and come on back down to your belly. Both arms out into a T, and here we'll take the right palm to the mat, pressing the heart away from the mat to stretch the whole left arm. So that left shoulder, the left chest, the left pec muscle. And just a little bit of movement can really make this stretch effective. So don't feel like you need to get your back perpendicular to the floor or anything. We're just lifting till we find a good stretch for our bodies. Coming back down. Right now we're gonna do the same thing with our legs. And we have a nice wide base with our arms out in a T. We're gonna keep our arms out into a T. Bend the right knee, and then we're taking the foot towards the floor on the left side. So this knee goes up, we get a stretch through the right hip flexor and a nice twist through the back. We don't need to touch the floor with that right foot. We're just letting it hang out in space, stretching from the right armpit all the way to the right knee. Big hip flexor stretch. Making our way back to center. And coming to the left side. So we're bending the left knee. Coming on up, lifting the foot, lifting the knee. Opening through the whole side. Left hip flexor. Outer left leg. Breathing here. Coming back down to the belly. We'll bring the palms underneath the shoulders and press on up nice and slow. Those were a few back bends, so we're going to take the knees a little bit wider, the big toes together, and lower all the way down with the forehead into child's pose. The tailbone is low, the forehead is low, the spine is rounded. Counterposing those 3 different back bends that we just did. We'll make our way on up, bringing the thighs parallel. So this is a big stretch. This might be a big stretch for you. And if this is too much, that's where a blanket comes in or where we can roll our mats. So a blanket can fit right underneath the fronts of the ankles. I'm gonna roll up my mat to fit in front of my ankles because it gives a little bit less of an angle. So So see how I fit it right in front of my ankles so that my ankles don't have to be flat against the floor. It kind of takes some of the pressure out there. You can also stick a blanket underneath your booty. You can stick a blanket underneath your knees. You can have one in each spot. Whatever you need to do to make this hero pose is what it's called, accessible to you. So if you need to be sitting up on a yoga block, if you need to be up here, if you need to be here, if you need to be here, wherever you need to be is just fine. I am not trying to force you to force your body into this shape if it's not accessible to you. So we're here. If this sitting on your heels or sitting toward your heels is a stretch on those ankles and on those knees, stay right here. Getting a stretch through your ankles and a stretch through your knees. If you need more of a stretch, you can take a knee and lift it up a couple inches, stretching through the front of the ankle, stretching through the knee. If you need to take a break from this position, come to tabletop, stretch one leg out, stretch the other leg out. This is very much a yogi's choice moment. So if you're feeling a stretch, hang out in that stretch. If you need more, figure out how to feel more. Lifting those knees is a good option. We can also take the hands back for more of an opening through the fronts of the legs. Finding your pose here. We're coming forward with the hands, coming into tabletop. You might remember this from way back in the day. We're going to tuck our toes, keep the heels and the ankles together, and we're sitting back on those heels. And sitting back on those heels might mean that your booty is several inches away from those heels. You might not be able to make contact, and that is okay. We're stretching the bottoms of the feet, maybe with the hands down, maybe leaning forward a little bit, maybe with a pillow or a blanket in between the booty and the heels. Stretching those feet. Let's take the arms out wide to the sides, patting ourselves on the back with the right hand. The back of the left hand comes to the spine. We want to keep the chin level with the floor. So we're not rounding forward to try to get those fingertips together. Opening the arms on out and switching sides, patting ourselves with the left hand, back of the right hand to the floor. Or to the floor. Psh. That would be interesting. To the spine. Taking a break from that foot stretch whenever you need to. We're going to do that one more time. Right hand pats us on the back, back of the left hand to the spine. Coming back into your foot stretch whenever you feel ready. And we'll switch, patting ourselves on the back with the left hand, back of the right hand to the spine. Chin is level with the floor. Go ahead and release the arms. Take the hands down, untuck those toes, and tap the tops of the feet to the floor. Go ahead and take one leg long, roll out the ankle. Take the other leg long, roll out the ankle. And I hope that figuring out how to sit on your heels wasn't annoying. My goal is that you can sit in these positions even when you're not in a yoga class, especially the ones that are on the floor. Because sitting on the floor and figuring out how your body can comfortably sit on the floor is one of my goals for you as a yoga teacher. So I hope that that wasn't obnoxious, and I hope that you maybe learned something about how to sit on the floor. Because if that's not a goal of yoga, I don't know what is. Now we're gonna sit on the floor. And when we sit with our ankles crossed, you can sit up on a blanket, you can sit up on a block, You can have the feet pretty far away from the body, whatever you need to do to be able to stay in this position for a few minutes without the legs falling asleep. And if your legs fall asleep, that is a good indicator that you need to change something about how you're sitting. You maybe need to elevate the hips. That's a super easy, quick way to bring some more circulation into the legs in this weird, tight position. So we're sitting up nice and tall here. Let's take the arms out wide and all the way up. And twist. So we're taking one hand across to the opposite knee, one hand behind. Inhaling to lift through the spine. And exhaling to look over the right shoulder. Inhaling all the way up. And exhaling down to the left. Inhaling to lengthen through the spine. And exhaling to twist, looking over the left shoulder. Moving with your breath. You can hang out in the twist for a round of breath if that felt good, or you can change positions on each breath. Inhaling to lift the hands and exhaling to twist. And when you feel even, meeting back up at center. And bringing the fingertips down to the floor in front of the shins. We're going to keep a straight spine here. Go ahead and flex your feet. So we're making an L shape with our ankle, like we're standing on the floor. Fingertips are to the floor, spine is straight. We're going to walk the fingertips forward until we feel like we can't keep the spine straight any longer. Take a big deep breath in there. Keeping the feet flexed, we're going to relax the spine. Rounding forward. Getting a stretch through the outer legs, one or both hips. Letting the head hang down heavy. Gravity helping us open up here. And make our way back up. Nice and tall. Go ahead and switch ankles so the opposite ankle's in close. Flexing the feet. Sitting up nice and tall. Fingertips come on down. We walk the fingertips forward. Maybe it's a centimeter till we feel like we can't stay straight with the spine any longer. Take a big deep breath in there. And exhale to round forward, relaxing through the spine, but keeping those ankles flexed, keeping the lower legs activated. That protects the knees and might help with some circulation here for those of us whose legs tend to fall asleep while they're cross-legged. I am one of us whose legs fall asleep while they're cross-legged, and I teach yoga, so there's no shame in that. It's just what happens to your body because of your nerves and your bones and your muscles. Coming back upright. And here we can relax the feet, relax the ankles, bringing the palms together. Taking a big deep breath in here. Interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms forward and rounding between the shoulder blades. Inhaling, lifting up the palms. Exhaling, hands reaching back. Inhaling, lifting the hands, lifting the chin, opening the heart and the shoulders. Exhaling, hands come back into center. Deep breath in. Exhaling, pressing the palms forward. Inhaling, palms come up. Exhaling, hands reach back. Inhaling, lifting the hands, lifting the chin. And exhaling, hands come to center. One more, deep breath in. Exhaling, palms pressing forward. Inhaling, palms coming up. Exhaling, hands reach back. Inhaling to open up the heart. And exhaling, hands come into the center. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and make our way into tabletop position with the palms under the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Stretch out one leg and then the other. If your legs still feel tight from that Sukhasana, easy seat pose. So we're bringing the spine neutral. We're looking down to the mat in between the fingertips. The belly is hugging towards the spine. So we're not letting the low back hang down. Keeping the shoulders and hips in the best alignment you can for your body. We'll take some deep breaths, moving with the breath. Inhaling, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly down, lifting the chin. And exhaling, rounding up through the back, tucking the tailbone in and tucking the chin towards the chest. Moving with your breath, noticing anywhere that feels tight, anywhere that feels a nice release with these movements. Taking any wiggles side to side or forward and back or up and down that your body needs. Making our way back to neutral. Checking in with your palms, checking in with your knees. Let's go ahead and take the right leg out long, flexing the foot so the toes point straight down. Keeping the spine neutral so we're not lifting the heel up and arching the back. We want the heel to be level with the hip. Left arm comes out long. Big deep breath in. And on the exhale, the hand and the knee come down. We'll switch sides. The left leg comes out long. Level with the hip, flexing the heel, flexing the foot so the toes point straight down. Right arm comes out long. Deep breath in to lengthen from the heel to the fingertips. And exhale on down. Switching sides. Right leg, left arm. Exhaling to lower. Right arm, left leg. Exhaling to lower. We'll do each side one more time. Right leg, left arm. Lowering down on your exhale. Left leg, right arm. Exhaling to lower. Let's go ahead and take a quick child's pose. Knees come wide, big toes come together. Hips go low. You might notice your hips go a little bit lower this time than they did earlier. So we've been waking up those hips a little bit. Forehead down, low towards the floor. Go ahead and bend the elbows out to the sides here, giving your arms a break. We'll make our way up, bringing the knees back underneath the hips, taking the hands a couple inches forward. We're going to come into a modified plank position here. So we're making a straight line from the shoulders down to the knees. Taking a big deep breath in. On our exhale, we're keeping the elbows in close and lowering the heart all the way to the floor. Inhaling to lift the heart up, keeping the tops of the feet to the floor. Exhaling to lower. Go ahead and tuck the toes. Press back to our modified plank. We're going to do it 2 more times. Deep breath in here. Exhaling to lower. Pointing the toes. Inhaling to lift the heart. Exhaling to lower the heart, tucking the toes, coming back to that plank. We'll do that movement only 1 more time, I promise. Deep breath in. Exhaling to lower. Pointing the toes, lifting the heart. Exhaling on down. Tucking those toes and pressing up. Coming back into tabletop. And let's go ahead and stand up on those knees. Standing up on those knees. And if you need to fold, I think I'm going to fold my mat over. If you need to fold your mat over or fold a blanket up to pad those knees, that is always an option. Go ahead and tuck the toes here. We want to have the knees directly underneath the hips. And we're bringing the pinkies together at the low back, maybe the very low back. That's just fine. We're pressing the elbows towards one another, opening up across the collarbones, opening up the chest, the fronts of the shoulders. We're going to take big backstroking motions with one arm at a time. So taking the right arm all the way through its range of motion, and then back with pinkies touching. Taking the left arm all the way around, bringing it back to its original spot. Continuing to move the arms. Use your breath to relax through the shoulders and keep it moving. When you feel even, meeting back with the pinkies together. One more time, pressing those elbows together and lift the heart as high up towards the sky as you can. And we'll exhale to relax the arms, relax the upper body. Let's go ahead and take the right foot forward, coming into a lunge here. Taking the right hand to the right hip, the left arm comes up. Stretching from the fingertips down to that left knee. Maybe stretching the fingertips over towards the right for a little bit more of an oblique stretch. The side of the belly. Inhaling up. And we'll take the arms out wide in a T. This is a good one. We're going to rotate to the right. Rotating to the right, keeping our balance, and then taking the left hand down to the floor. And we come into a twist, looking up towards the right hand. if somebody's grabbing a hold of that right hand and pulling you up. Make your way on up. And then we'll come back forward and release the arms. Come back onto both knees. We'll do that same thing on the left side. Stepping forward with the left foot. Left hand to the left hip, reaching up with the right hand. Stretching from the fingertips down to the knee. Maybe reaching over to the left. Stretching through the whole right side. Coming back upright, and then taking the arms out wide to the sides. This time we'll rotate to the left, keeping the arms out wide, keeping the balance, and tipping down with the right hand towards the floor. Looking up towards the left fingertips towards the ceiling. As if somebody's holding on to your left hand and pulling you up. Tip yourself back upright. Rotate to the front, and we'll release the arms on out. Go ahead and take that left knee back down to the floor. If you folded your mat over like I did, go ahead and unfold it. We're going to make our way into a downward facing dog here. So we're tucking the toes, lifting the knees, lifting the hips, alternating, pressing one heel and then the other down towards the floor. Letting the hamstrings open up gradually and naturally. We're in this downward facing dog a little bit longer than we usually are. If you need to take the knees down and give yourself a little bit of a break, that is just fine. If you need to take the face more over the wrists or the palms, that's just fine. This is a lot of strength in the upper body especially. So if you need to take a break, take a break. Building strength in those shoulders. Big deep breath in, lifting up onto the tippy toes. And exhale to lower the knees down. Let's go ahead and come to our seat. Coming to a seat with the bottoms of the feet together. So we're taking the bottoms of the feet together, but that doesn't mean the heels need to be in super close to the groin. We can have those heels be nice and far away. Hands might be holding on to the ankles. They might be able to interlace around the feet. That feels good. We want to feel a stretch through the inner thighs, maybe through the low back. Sitting up as tall as you can through the spine here. We'll take a big deep breath in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. And we'll fold forward over those feet. So we had a straight spine, now we have a soft curved spine. And whether you've got your nose to your feet or you're in almost the exact same position or anywhere in between, you're hopefully feeling a stretch through the back of the neck because the head is hanging down. Feeling a stretch through the top of the spine. The lower back being pulled by the legs. Let's go ahead and walk the hands over towards the right knee. Maybe you can hold on to the right knee, maybe hand to the floor feels better. Stretching through the left side of the back. Walking the hands over towards the left. Maybe holding on to that left knee, maybe hands to the floor. Maybe one of each. Coming back to center. Inhaling up nice and tall. Alrighty, let's go ahead and come all the way down onto our backs. All the way down. Stretching the arms up overhead, stretching from the fingertips all the way down to the toes. Big deep breath in. Release the arms, let the legs relax. Just let yourself be heavy, checking in with how your body feels. All of a sudden, we are horizontal. We've made our way all the way down to the floor. Notice how it feels. Go ahead and bend the right knee. Bringing the right knee in nice and close, and we can hold on to the knee or hold on behind the thigh. We're just using the hands to draw circles with that knee. The foot and ankle are soft. The leg is soft, the hip is relaxed. We're just using the arms to move the hip around. Move that top ball of the femur around in your hip socket. Go ahead and switch directions. Extend the right leg all the way up towards the ceiling, and then slowly, slowly lower it on down. We'll bend the left knee in, holding onto the knee or behind the knee to the thigh, using the hands to make circles with this left knee. Switching directions. Bringing the knee in nice and close, and we'll extend the foot up towards the ceiling, lower it all the way down to meet the other one. Bringing the bottoms of the feet to the floor, bending those knees. We'll open up the front of our body, so taking the palms to the floor on either side. We're pressing into the feet to lift the hips up towards the ceiling on an inhale. Exhaling, lowering back down to the floor. Adjusting the feet if you need to. Moving with the breath, inhaling to lift those hips. And exhaling to lower. lowering the hips all the way down. And we'll take yet another hip stretch. So we'll take the right ankle across the left knee. We can stay right here. Or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can hold on behind that left thigh or even to the front of the left shin. Getting a big stretch through that right hip, the outer right leg. Releasing the left foot down to the floor, uncrossing the right. And we'll try that on the other side. Left ankle over right knee. We can stay right here. You're going to hold on behind the thigh on the right side or even to the front of the shin on the right side. Feeling a stretch now through the left hip. Go ahead and bring the right foot back down to the floor. Uncross the left with the knees bent. We'll take the arms out wide in a T and let the knees just fall down to the right. Coming into a twist. We can hang out right here. We can take the left leg long. We can even cross the right ankle over the left knee. Whatever you want to do to find a nice, comfortable twist for your body. A nice stretch from the left fingertips all the way to that left knee. We'll carefully make our way back to center, letting the knees fall down to the left, maybe stretching through the right leg, maybe crossing the left ankle over the right knee to drag that knee closer down towards the floor, adding a little bit of gravity. Exercising your brain. And we'll bring the knees back together and bring them back up to center. Go ahead and hug both knees in nice and close, rounding your spine, bringing your nose up towards the knees. Go ahead and relax the head back down. Take the knees wide and reach between the knees to hold onto the ankles or even to the outsides of the feet. Opening the bottoms of the feet up towards the ceiling as best you can, maybe rocking from side to side for happy baby pose. And we'll release those feet. Take one leg and then the other out nice and long. And find your final relaxation pose. Maybe that's all the way flat on the mat. Maybe that's knees bent. Maybe lying on your side sounds better today. Finding your pose where you feel symmetrical from right to left, where you can be soft and relax. Feeling the feet pressing into the floor, but not gripping. The ankles are soft. The calves are soft. There's so much potential for movement there, but we're not moving. We're just letting the energy be still, letting those muscles be soft. The knees are soft. The upper legs are soft and wide against the floor or in space. Feeling the heaviness of your hips and pelvis against the floor. Those big bones and big muscles. The natural curves of your spine. The belly is soft. The heart is open. The arms are relaxed. The hands and fingers, wherever they are not doing anything. Just resting. The shoulder blades are flat against the floor. The neck is nice and long. Feeling the heaviness of the back of your head against the floor. Allowing the face to be smooth. And the breath to be steady. We're just breathing regularly here for about 2 minutes, not dwelling for too long on any thought that might arise. Beginning to deepen your breath. Taking little movements with the fingers and toes. rolling out the wrists and the ankles. When you're ready, bending both knees and rolling to one side. Use the arms to press on up into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, hopefully feeling some space through the shoulders, the hips, the spine that maybe wasn't there at the beginning of class. We'll bring the palms together at the heart and close with our 3 deep breaths. Taking a big deep breath in for the world. Exhaling, hands come into the heart. Big deep breath in for our community. Hands come into the heart. Big deep breath in for ourselves. Exhaling, hands come into center. Thank you so much. Namaste.